importantly, right now. Let's head to Chance right now. Hey, Chance.
You just saw the scene from the air. Now take a look at it from the ground. It's very active here. The police directing traffic. You can see periodically groups of parents with their kids in hand, a tight grip on those kids, going across the street, trying to return those kids home. Lots of police activity. Most of the buses that were here have left. I heard Paris talk about that bus driver. That bus driver is in police custody, if you will, or being detained, being questioned, trying to figure out exactly what happened. We did hear from the fire department a few minutes ago and got some rough details about what happened, which was that a bus was parked and for some reason with 25 kids on the bus lurched forward, hitting 2 kids and an adult that were outside of the bus. That adult we now know is deceased. Those 2 kids have serious injuries, but we're told those injuries are non-life threatening. We also understand the bus driver nor any of the 25 kids that were on the bus were seriously hurt. For the hour or so that we've been here, parents have been in the Marsh parking lot directly across the street from the elementary school, anxious, crying, trying to figure out what's going on. A lot of them wanting to believe that their kids are inside, but still many of them not knowing if their kids were the injured kids. We saw police addressing a large crowd of 50-plus parents in the parking lot, trying to keep them up to speed and calm their fears. Let's hear now from one of those parents.
I heard they went back in the school, unless my kids are the ones that I don't know who got hurt, so, but anyways. So at this, I could come get them.
At this point, you're not 100%. You're pretty sure that they're in the school, but you're not. Yeah. You're not totally ruling out that they were injured.
Right.
What's that like?
I'm worried, or I just want them to come home.
Do here on this scene, priority number 1 is, of course, getting the parents to their kids and getting their kids home safely. The investigation will obviously carry on through the evening. We'll keep you up to date as soon as we get the latest information. For now, back to you.
All right, Chance, thank you so much. Now, we just got new information right now into our newsroom. We learned that 2 of the kids who are at Riley Hospital right now are currently stable. That is all that we're learning right now about how they are doing after getting these injuries. Now, I want to bring up some points that Chance had just reported. Again, just to viewers who are just joining us, what you're looking at now is a scene of a bus accident, a bus crash right at Amy Beverland Elementary School. You can see it right there in front of you over the curb up in that lawn area with the fire truck right there. Now, Chance Walser on scene reported that we do know 1 adult was hit and he died from his injuries. We also know 2 kids are injured from this accident currently at Riley, and the new information just coming into our newsroom right now, they are stable regarding their condition. Tariq, we're going to head now to RTV6's Liz Adiola, who is at Riley Hospital right now to learn the latest information. And I know she's been there for about the past half hour, I would say, collecting the latest. Hey, Liz.
Yeah, firefighters tell us that 2 students from Amy Beverland Elementary School were rushed here to Riley Hospital, where they are being treated right at this moment. We were here as the ambulances arrived. We got some video of that. Ambulances from Lawrence Township, 2 of those showed up, and they wheeled those kids, rushed them inside so they could be treated. We are told that their injuries are non-life threatening at this time. We are told that there were 25 students on that bus when this crash happened, and 2 students who were not on the bus were the ones that were injured and that are here at Riley Hospital tonight. So we are checking with hospital associates to find out the status of those students, to find out what's going on with those students. We are also looking to see if any parents are coming here tonight to try and talk to those parents about what's going on here. We will bring you an update as soon as we have it. Reporting live in Indianapolis, Liz Adiola, RTV6.
Liz, thank you so much. I want to bring an update that we just received. We have multiple sources confirming that the adult that was killed from this accident was, in fact, the principal. Again, multiple sources confirming that the adult killed in this bus crash, what you're looking at right there in front of you on the screen, was the principal. But we want to get the latest also from RTV6's Rafael Sanchez, who is, I believe, on the scene as well, gathering the latest from, again, witnesses, people who are in the area. Hey, Rafael, what have you learned?
Candace, good afternoon. Our live TV coverage continues outside of Amy Beverland Elementary School. Just want to set the scene for you. We are outside of the school. You just saw those live pictures from Skycam 6. You just heard from my colleague Chance Walser reporting. So just walk with me. This is Fox Road, and this is what's happening right now as parents are picking up their young students. They're picking up their children. As you can see behind me, there's a backup along Fox Road as parents are trying to get to the school building anxiously to make sure that their child is okay. So as you can see, this Fox Road area is backed up. If you're trying to navigate through this area, there are a lot of neighborhoods, a lot of stores. Just be mindful that there's now a police investigation behind us here at Amy Beverland Elementary School. This is a day of sadness for this school community, and so of course the first priority for school officials is to take care of the children that are heading home. Then on the other hand is also to be in thought, to be in connection with what happened on their school property just about an hour ago. So there are multiple things going on right now, but the key thing of course is to make sure that everyone is safe. We're being joined right now by one of the parents who picked up one of their children. Good afternoon, and
Hi, how are you?
I'm glad to see that your children are doing okay. My condolences on the loss of your school community today. Can you give us an idea, ma'am, what the school has told you? I know that they posted something on Facebook telling parents that something tragic happened here today.
There really was very little information through the chaos trying to find the kids and which room they were, if they were on the bus, if they weren't on the bus. I'm just glad I found mine and they're here. And I know that there was a death.
Sure. Can you give me an idea, ma'am, when you went to pick up the kids, were they inside the building? Where was pickup when you came to the school?
Scattered. It was scattered. They were all doing their best to get the parents where they needed to go, but everybody was a little bit frantic. So some of the rooms had numbers on them for like the buses that got emptied. They were loaded and got emptied, so they would have had multiple rooms of children in them so parents could find them. They told me to go and find her in her third grade room. So when I went there, her room was completely empty. So I was like, okay. And then I got sent to the office. You're watching, the cops go by, and it was a little
very
nutty.
chaotic. Can I get your name, ma'am?
My name's Tony.
So I want to thank you for talking to us live on RTV6, and I'm glad that your kids are fine. I know it's a very sad day for your school community.
Yes.
We appreciate you for joining us today, and I'm glad the kids are okay. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you
good
so
afternoon.
much.
The girl that I saw.
All right, that is
And of course, a
Raphael.
lot of the kids have some things to say. We're going to wait for moms and dads to talk to their kids before we put them on live television. But as you can see, as Chance Walser indicated, this remains a very active situation. And of course, a great deal of sadness today, Candace, for the school community after someone was killed on the property. And as you heard, a number of children were injured. We'll continue to get more people, more reaction, and we'll get to you live here on RTV6. Live from the city's northeast side, Rafael Sanchez, now back to you.
All right, Raphael, thanks so much. We want to head to Paris Lubell, who's reporting from Skycam 6 actually right now. Paris, what's the latest that you've learned?
Hey, Candace, we're starting to see law enforcement start the preliminary part of their investigation, and that's taking some pictures. They're treating this as a crime scene, and that doesn't mean that a crime's actually been committed, but what they do there is it allows them to take the kind of pictures that they need to take and take the measurements and things that they would need to actually investigate this fully. And you can see that crime scene tape out there, that yellow tape that is blocking off the area. We're seeing that on the perimeter of the school as well, but police, they're in the front of the bus where we believe that ran over the two kids and the adult. We're not sure if the adult victim, the fatal victim, is still here on the scene. We did earlier see an ambulance leave without its lights and sirens. It very well could be the victim, or they could still be here on the scene. But right now, police are starting the preliminary parts of their investigation, and you can imagine this will be an active investigation. There will be a lot of police here for the next few hours, well into the early hours of the morning, as they try to repiece this accident together.
All right, Paris Lubell reporting live. Now, I kind of want to reset the scene for many people here. Here's a live look of breaking news we're following happening right now. This is at Amy Beverland Elementary School, where earlier in the day we learned of a bus accident there happening right in front of it. Now, we do know one person has died from that accident, multiple people confirming that it was the principal of the school. We also know 2 kids were injured. They are at Riley Hospital. The latest we have on how they are doing is stable, describing their conditions. Now, you can see some parents along with their children on the cell phones trying to contact their loved ones. A lot of police vehicles also on scene. Paris had mentioned something that they were looking into the criminal aspect of this investigation. A witness that we had also spoken with earlier on the phone within the 3 o'clock hour had mentioned that right after the accident had happened. She was in the vicinity. She saw the driver of the bus still sitting there with obviously a shocked look on her face. So a lot of things are going to go into this investigation as we learn and dig deeper to find out what really caused it. Now, looking inside of the newsroom, we have a lot of updates coming in. A busy scene here as well. We're keeping an eye on Twitter, our assignment desk making phone calls behind me, getting the latest information as soon as we get it. And we did find on Twitter that the mayor's office just tweeting out now that the mayor is on scene right there at Amy Beverland Elementary School, and he is with the superintendent right now as we speak. Well, it is 4:12 right now. You're watching the Now Indy. We're resetting the scene. Following breaking news right now, reports of one person killed in a school bus crash. You're looking live at the scene. You can see police officers, a very active scene there. And this is all unfolded within the past hour and a half, I would say, a little before 3 o'clock. And that's around the same time when school's being let out, obviously. There are a lot of students leaving the area, making it a very busy area. We're taking a live look now, actually, at a web statement. It looks like Amy Beverland Elementary. Let's see if I can read that text. They are saying a serious accident occurred at Amy Beverland Elementary around 2:45 this afternoon. We do not have all the details at this time, but the school district can confirm that there was one fatality. Now, we are working with authorities to find exactly what happened and get students home safely. Now, some of the video that we're also seeing is that parents initially weren't allowed to be on scene as it was just unfolding again a little over an hour ago, but now they are being let out slowly but surely to meet up with their kids, take them home safely, as that school statement has said. Now we are going to head out live to Rafael Sanchez, who is on scene right now at Amy Beverland Elementary School for the latest. Hey, Rafael.
And so we are live here on Fox Road outside of Amy Beverland Elementary School, the school on the city's northeast side, part of the Lawrence Township School District. As you walk with me, you can get an idea of what is happening here. This is a very active situation. In front of you can see the number of police on the scene as they're now making sure that parents are able to get in and out of the school building to pick up their young people. You heard a few moments ago from a mother of two, and she told us about the chaos inside the building, not because the school had lost control, but because the school is just trying to deal with a number of things. One, a police investigation, and then also trying to meet the demands of parents who want their children to get home safely today. So the school really doing the best possible to get kids safely to their parents. As you can see, we're live here at the intersection at Amy Beverland Elementary School. Let me tell you about what we think at this point has happened here as we continue our live team coverage here on the city's northeast side. Our understanding is that there were children aboard a bus. There were about 25 children on that bus, and there were at least 4 children and an adult outside on the sidewalk possibly, and that bus somehow lunged forward, striking the 4 students and the adult. We're told that the adult has passed away. We don't know the name or anything else about that adult, but obviously the investigation is going on. So we have that to deal with. We have to deal with the tragedy and the sadness that parents and teachers are now experiencing. At the same time, then you have this. Parents trying to get here to pick up their kids. Brad, if you turn out to my other side, this is Fox Road. You can see the long line of traffic. There are a number of things happening along this way. Not only is this a busy time of day for school dismissal, but you also have construction. On top of that, this is a highly residential neighborhood. There's a number of stores and there's a supermarket here. So a lot goes on here anyway on any day of the week at this time of day. And so to compound this with this investigation, then you have all of this. As we continue to walk this way, you can see the traffic and the situation. Let me tell you about Amy Beverland Elementary School. It has about 800 students. It is a 4-star school rated by the State Department of Education. So kids, parents, those we've talked to love this place. They feel safe in this place. They love their teachers. They love the school community. And of course, to have to deal with the sadness and to deal with the tragedy that has happened here really is very difficult for them today. But as you can see behind me, the police are doing their best possible to make sure that parents get in and get out and get their children as quickly as possible, as 2 things continue to happen here. A fatal police investigation involving a tragedy here, as well as parents picking up their kids. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, Raphael, thank you so much. We're looking live at through our Skycam 6 camera right now. You're looking at Amy Beverland Elementary School. You can see the bus crash right there in front of you, along with a fire truck next to it. It looks like the bus had jumped the curb and is now in that lawn area right there. We want to bring in RTV6's Liz Adiola, who is at Riley Hospital right now, and she has been looking for also the latest information over there. Hey, Liz.
We're here at Riley Hospital right off Wilson Street, where 2 ambulances recently rushed by holding 2 students who were hit in that bus crash. Those students are now being worked on for their injuries that they have, and we are told by Indianapolis Fire that those injuries were non-life threatening, yet and still they are working on those children right at this time inside the hospital. There's also a Lawrence Township police officer here on the scene at the hospital. We got video as all of those entities arrived here during this investigation. We have also reached out to Riley Hospital officials to try and get more information about the injuries that those children suffered. We have not heard back from anyone from the hospital yet, but we will continue to contact them, call them, and email them until we get some answers for you. Reporting live from Riley Hospital, Liz Adiola, RTV6.
Thanks so much for your update. Another live look at the scene here. You can see a few people standing to the right of that bus there. I also want to bring you into the newsroom for a second. We're keeping an eye, obviously, on tweets as they come into our newsroom, and any calls made at the assignment desk behind me just to get as much information as possible. Now, right now, I'm on Mayor Joe Hogsett's Twitter page, and he is saying that he's currently on scene with the Lawrence superintendent and public safety officials, and we are expecting a news conference happening from him within the hour. That's the latest coming from Mayor Hogsett. But again, you're still looking live from Skycam 6 at the scene here at Amy Beverland Elementary School of a bus accident happening there. We know of one person who has died. Several of our sources are reporting that it is the principal, and we also know that 2 kids are injured. They are at Riley Hospital. That's where Liz Adiola was just reporting from, mentioning that they had non-life threatening injuries, and we had also learned that they were in stable condition. All right, it is 4:19. Thanks for joining us on the Now Indy. We are following breaking news. We want to reset the scene for viewers who are just joining us now. A bus accident near Amy Beverland Elementary School happening a little before 3 o'clock this afternoon. We know that one person has passed away, 2 students injured. We also know that the bus had 25 students on board. None of those students on board were injured. The bus driver, according to a witness, was still on the bus at the time of the accident. And we also have team coverage. We have Liz Adiola at Riley Hospital, Chance Walser, as well as Rafael Sanchez on campus there, and we have Paris Lubell reporting from Skycam 6. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look. We're going to head now to Paris Lubell reporting live in Skycam 6 with the latest information that he's been able to get. Hey, Paris.
Hey, Candace, we're up here and we're starting to see even more investigators come to the scene and take a look at this bus, taking some preliminary pictures. Again, as we explained earlier, they're going to be treating this as a crime scene. Even though a crime may have not been committed, it allows them to take the pictures, take the measurements, and then recreate the scene. It's what police do in any incident like this. We also know state police will be out here, and that's because they inspect the school buses across the state, and they'll be looking to see if something mechanically went wrong with the school bus that may have caused this accident. We also have IMPD out here, Lawrence Police, and some other jurisdictions that are all helping out along with IFD. And the IFD units, although there's nothing else happening that they're needed for, those are the first units that arrived on the scene, that fire truck number 9 and some of the other fire trucks. And they'll be giving statements to police to see what they saw when they first arrived on scene, and that'll hopefully allow investigators to maybe piece together exactly what happened, what may have led to this crash. And it may be days, though, before we actually get an answer. Investigations like this take some time, but we are starting to see more and more police arrive on the scene. We've already had quite a few here, but as investigators start to arrive here and try and find out exactly what happens, we'll have a lot more presence. And this will still stay an active scene for many more hours as police try to piece it all back together. Candace?
All right, Paris, a very good point. Definitely a very active scene in front of us. Now we want to bring in RTV6's Chance Walser, who is also on campus in that area. Something we're looking into is the cause of this, but we know that he's been touching base with witnesses and police. Hey, Chance.
You heard Paris mention more police, more investigators on the scene at the elementary school. That's in exchange of less parents being at the elementary school. A lot of them have now been able to pick up their students and take them away. We still see handfuls walking across the parking lot of parents with their kids, but that part of this incident has settled down quite a bit. Earlier we saw probably 50 to 70 parents in a group, all really frustrated, frantic, crying, upset, trying to figure out what exactly was going on, because early in this, a lot of parents were here just under the understanding that something did happen. They didn't know at all what it was. A police officer came and addressed those parents, kind of debriefed them as best as he could, and explained that a bus that was parked with some kids on it lurched forward, hit a couple of kids, and an adult, killing that adult. We also spoke with the fire department too about that bus driver. There's going to be a lot of questions in the coming days about what happened, how it happened, could it have been prevented, things like that. Let's listen now to what police have planned for that bus driver in the next few hours.
There was a driver on the bus at that time. At this time, IMPD is getting a statement from the driver, and we'll take the investigation further from there. But again, the two young children, both age 10, have been taken to Riley Hospital, and they are in good or serious condition, but with non-life-threatening injuries.
That statement will obviously provide hopefully a lot of information and a lot of insight for investigators about what happened here. But like I said, there are still parents on the scene with their little ones. The numbers of parents on the scene have been reduced over the last hour or so, and investigators are continuing their work there at the elementary school. Back to you for now.
All right, Chance, thanks so much. Now, to give you an idea of how we're monitoring different information coming into our newsroom, we are monitoring Twitter very closely. Oh, I just closed that tab there, but we got a tweet from Mayor Joe Hogsett saying that he was currently on the scene, and he is speaking with the superintendent. And we're also looking forward to a news conference that should be coming within the next hour or so. We also have calls coming into our assignment desk right behind us. Our producers just bringing in new information as we get it, and I will bring that to you as soon as possible. But just a recap for those of you joining us now at 4:24. We are covering, obviously, a very developing story right now, a bus accident happening at Amy Beverland Elementary School, rather. We know that 25 kids were on the bus. Those kids were not injured. You're looking live from Skycam 6 now at the scene. We can see some police officers there, as well as a fire truck out front, a very active scene mentioned earlier by Paris Lubell. We do know one person hit by the bus was killed. Now, several of our sources are reporting that it was the principal, and we do know that 2 kids were also injured by that bus. And this all happened a little before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the same time that school, is being let out, a lot of kids out and about. So a major question on everyone's minds now is kind of finding a cause. What really prompted this? Was it accidental? Was it, a number of elements go into here, and that's what the investigation will hopefully figure out for us. Now, we're covering this story, obviously, with all of our team. We have Chance Walser at the school, Rafael Sanchez as well on the scene around there, Paris Lubell reporting live from Skycam 6, and Liz Adiola right in front of Riley Hospital. Now, talking a little bit more about actually, let's bring in RTV6's Liz Adiola right now. Again, just as I mentioned, at Riley Hospital. We want to learn a little more about the condition of those who were injured in this accident. Hey, Liz.
We're live here at Riley Hospital, where 2 young students were taken here after that bus crash. One of the ambulances is still behind us. Those students are now inside the hospital. We are told that they have non-life-threatening injuries at this time. There were 25 students on the bus at the time of the crash, according to firefighters. We are told that all we know at this time is that those 2 students were not on the bus when that crash happened. They are being worked on now inside Riley Hospital. I am still trying to get a hold of Riley representatives to try and find out what kind of injuries those students have. We have not seen any parents come up at this time, but we do know that there was at least one Lawrence Township police cruiser that was parked here a little bit earlier today. We also got video footage of that cruiser showing up here at the hospital. I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you. As soon as we get more information, we'll let you guys know.
All right, Liz Adiola reporting live from Riley Hospital. Thanks so much for joining us. We want to bring in RTV6's Rafael Sanchez, who is also live on the scene there, gathering more information from witnesses, parents, even little children, everyone really on scene. Rafael, what's the latest you have?
We're back live here on the city's northeast side as we continue our coverage of this fatal school bus accident here at Amy Beverland Elementary School. As you can see, right as you want to walk with me, you can see that there's a number of authorities on the scene besides Metro Police. So this is a Lawrence Township school. It happened within the city of Indianapolis jurisdiction. So there's a number of investigators already on the scene. As you can see behind me from the flashing lights, there's a Metro Police officer, also state police on the scene. In particular, as you've heard from my colleague, Call 6 Investigates, Paris LaBelle. As you know, state police, they inspect school buses, so that bus will be thoroughly inspected as well to see when was the last time it was checked. They look at the maintenance records as well. There'll be a top to bottom review of this accident, not only looking at the driver and the circumstances that were happening today. Just got a call from a source that the initial call came in to the building or to police at 2:39 this afternoon. Was the initial call to authorities that something bad, something wrong had happened here at this school building. So the investigation began at that point. So there's a number of authorities here that are looking into what happened. As you can see behind me, more parents are now coming out, picking up their children. We're going to try to talk to a parent to see if they'll let us talk to them on live television. We'll see if that happens or not, and we'll see what they have to say. Ma'am, we're live on Channel 6. I know you're frantic. I know you're cold. And I know this is not what you want to do right now, is to talk to a reporter on television. But just, can you give me an idea, ma'am? You rushed to school. How are things going? How are you first doing?
I was a little scared at first. My friend called me and told me, hey, there's something going on at the school. You need to call and figure out what's going on. And so I called and they said, hey, your kid's fine, but there was an incident. And I'm glad he's here and he's fine, but it's a little hard.
Yeah, you're visibly shaken by what happened. When you went in the building, how are things inside? I know this is a very sad day in light of what's happened here, so there's a lot of sadness.
Quiet. It's a little quiet today, and people are sad.
Did you find your cute little guy there where he was supposed to be, or was he someplace else in the building?
No, he was exactly where he needed to be.
Okay.
Yep, he was exactly where he's supposed to be today.
And I imagine that your thoughts and your prayers are with your school community.
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Absolutely.
They posted something on Facebook telling us that something happened here today. There was an accident involving a bus and that someone has died. Have they given you, as a parent, any more information? Let's get out of the way. I don't want you to get hurt.
They just told us that there was an incident and that if you could come get your kids as soon as possible, and that's what I did.
Ma'am, what is your name?
My name's Jody.
Jody, and what is
This is Tyson.
And Tyson, what grade are you in?
He's in kindergarten. He's all shy. He's in kindergarten today.
Well, I understand that. My wife's a kindergarten teacher. I'm glad that he's okay. And again, our condolences to you and your school family. We appreciate you talking to us.
Thank you.
And I'm glad everyone's okay. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. As you can see, family just visibly shaken as to what has happened here, and rightfully so. Really a sad day, a tragic day. The school day coming to an abrupt end after that accident here at Amy Beverland Elementary School. Candace, we'll continue to talk to parents as they make their way out of the building. But obviously, despite the tears you saw in that in those parents' eyes there, you could tell that there's a lot of love in that building. They care for these children, and those kids feel safe despite what happened here today here at Amy Beverland Elementary School. Well, I'm going to toss it back to you, and hopefully I'm going to talk to more parents. Let me see if I can talk to this parent here. Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. How are you? First of all, I'm sure you're not okay, but my condolences on your school loss. Just how did you get the call, and how did you? Obviously, you.
I know. Our kiddo goes to the early learning center, so I just got a text. I didn't get a call,
okay.
So it sounded like it was still a rumor to me. So.
Did you make a mad dash to get here?
I try not to panic.
That's fine, and panic is not good. And I would imagine your thoughts are just with the school family during this sad situation.
Is it? Yes. Is that accurate? That Mrs. Jordan is.
Well, we're not using any names, so we know that an adult was killed in the accident. So that's accurate, but so far as we're not releasing any names. Just police haven't released a name yet.
Okay.
But I take it that you know the person. You may know the person. Can you just tell me about her? And my understanding is she was a great educator.
Great educator, great leader.
Don't go out here, then go down there.
Love the kids a lot. This is a big loss. It's a big deal.
Well, ma'am, again, our condolences on your loss, and I'm glad your son is okay. We thank you for talking to us. Candace, as you could, again, parents have an idea of what happened insofar as who the victim is, but we have not released that name yet until police do so. We will not do so, so we'll continue to cover this story from every possible angle, and we'll send it back to you as we try to gather more information here on the ground.
Raphael, thank you. Some strong statements there, and you can also see those parents visibly shaken, hard to watch. Well, it is 4:30 now on the Now Indy. We are covering breaking news of a bus accident at Amy Beverland Elementary School. We know one person has died from this accident, several sources confirming that it is the principal of the elementary school. Now, we also know 2 kids were injured in this accident as well. They were not kids on board the bus. There were 25 on board the bus at the time. Those were none of the injured ones. They were out around the front area of the bus. They are currently at Riley Hospital, where our RTV6 Liz Adiola had reported that they are in stable condition, being treated right now with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, continuing our team coverage, we want to bring in Todd Connor, who is also live right now, joining me in the newsroom with the latest that he's been able to gather. Hey, Todd.
Candace, I do have some new information to bring our viewers and our parents out there still concerned, and you touched on this a moment ago, but Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett is currently on site meeting with the superintendent of the Lawrence School District. That would be Dr. Sean Smith. As you said, they were going to have a get together, a news conference coming up the top of the hour. That is still set for 5 o'clock. The 2, along with first responders, according to the school district and area officials, will be making a statement. They'll be sharing information, they say, about this tragic event that occurred at the Amy Beverland Elementary School. And there will be a staging area for that, of course, across the street from the Learning Center, where many of our crews are set up right now. So we expect to learn more information. We did just hear from Rita Wright with the Indianapolis Fire Department a short time ago, giving us some new information on the 2 10-year-olds that have non-life-threatening injuries that were injured on this, and I'm just now getting new information. This just being handed to me from the coroner's office on this investigation. It will say it'll take some time to process the scene, interview witnesses, confirm identity, and make a notification to the family. So we have been in contact then with the coroner and on the one adult who has been killed in this incident at the Amy Beverland School. And of course, our sources telling us that it is the principal. So we'll be following this, and we'll bring you any new information. But again, we should get a lot more new information at the top of the hour. Candace?
Thanks so much. You're looking live right now at the scene from Skycam 6. You can see the bus there over the curb, a fire truck there. It's still a very active scene. In addition to all the police on scene there and investigators we saw moments ago, parents, families still coming to pick up their kids and take them home safely. And we want to head now to our RTV6's Paris Lubell, who's up in Skycam 6 with the latest information that he's been able to gather on this. Hey, Paris.
Hey, Candace, and just as Todd was saying, the coroner coming out to the scene, and we've actually seen up from above where authorities have put a sheet, it appears, over the front of the bus. We were questioning what that was at first up here on the Skycam, and we now know that that is the victim, the adult victim, dead here on the scene, and the coroner will be coming out to investigate. So we've definitely seen in the last hour or so a lot of law enforcement arriving here on the scene, and that's all part of the investigation. And it appears here, I'm not exactly sure what this other school bus is doing. I'm just seeing this for the first time as well. It appears maybe blocking the edge of the scene so people from the street maybe can't see. I'm not exactly sure, but as law enforcement continues to arrive here and investigators, they'll be repiecing this accident together to see exactly what happened. State police will also be out here to check to see if something happened with the bus and the mechanical side of it. State police inspects all the buses for mechanical issues, so that'll be a big part of the investigation, as well as IMPD and Lawrence police will be coordinating together to see exactly what happened. And they are treating this as a crime scene, as we've said earlier, and that's not necessarily because a crime has occurred, but because they can take all the photos, the measurements, and see exactly what led to this accident. And they do that for all fatal accidents, no matter if somebody is at fault or not. So again, a lot of investigators coming out here. They'll be taking pictures and then reconstructing the scene, a lot of measurements as well over the next few hours. And as you'll see, a continuing large presence of law enforcement here on the scene. Candace?
Chris. Very interesting development there, seeing that second bus there to be recreating what had happened. But we want to bring in RTV6's Liz Adiola. She has more information. She's been in the Riley Hospital area kind of alerting us as to updates on the status of the two injured, and she joins us now with the latest. Hey, Liz.
Well, Candace, we know that two young students who were supposed to be at home this evening are now here at Riley Hospital for Children with injuries that are said to be non-life threatening. Those children were a part of the bus crash that happened earlier today at Amy Beverland Elementary School. 25 students were on that bus when it crashed. We were told that it killed one person and injured these two students. They were rushed here this afternoon. Just around 3:30, two ambulances arrived here at Riley Hospital for Children carrying those students. And there was also a Lawrence Township police cruiser, a police officer who also showed up here on the scene. It has been pretty quiet ever since they wheeled those students into the hospital so they could be treated for their injuries. We have not heard any word from the hospital as of yet as how those students are doing this evening after they were taken here after that bus crash. But we are working to get more information about what is going on here tonight at Riley Hospital. Going to go ahead and send it back to you.
All right, Liz, thank you so much. Now, for viewers just joining us right now, we are following breaking news of a bus accident near Amy Beverland Elementary School, and you're looking live at this scene right in front of you from Skycam 6 right now. We have team coverage. You just heard from Liz Adiola near Riley Hospital. We have Chance Wolzer as well as Rafael Sanchez around the school's campus, and Paris Lewell up in Skycam 6. Now, what had happened? This all started unraveling a little before 3 o'clock, around the time that school is let out. What we know is that there was an accident involving one bus. You see two buses out there as investigators use it to recreate a scene, but originally just one bus here involved in this accident. We know that there were 25 kids on the bus. None of those were injured, but the bus did injure two kids outside of the bus, as well as killing one adult. Now, several sources are confirming that that adult is the principal of the Amy Beverland Elementary School. Now, as you can see, a very active scene, even though this is this is all happening a little over, about hour 45 now ago. Now investigators are on scene. We know the coroner's office is called there as well, investigating what had happened. We know the mayor tweeting out that he's on scene with the superintendent. We're also expecting a possible news conference within the hour or so, kind of giving us a recap of what is currently happening right now in the investigation and what really everyone in the area and parents need to know to stay safe and kind of keep calm as this continues to happen. A little earlier, we had checked in with Rafael Sanchez, who was talking with some parents, people just, still getting their families together, leaving safely. And it was very apparent that some of them were shaken up. This is a community where they had mentioned a lot of people are, they know each other very well, very close-knit. And, it's making ripples throughout the community there. That is very apparent. But for those of you joining us, we're checking in now on the how those two students who are injured are doing. They are currently dealing at Riley Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and their condition being labeled as stable. But we're obviously continuing to keep track of the story as it develops. We'll have the latest updates right here on the Now Indy. Also on our RTV6 app. Go ahead and download that. It's free. Check it out. We have push alerts coming to you right as they are happening and new information getting to you. We'll see you right after this break. You're watching the Now Indy on RTV6. We're following breaking news here on the Now Indy. A bus accident at Amy Beverland Elementary School killing one adult. Sources confirming that it is the school's principal and injuring two kids who are currently at Riley Hospital in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, a tweet from RTV6's Kara Kenny right here showing a picture of the principal. We're getting this about a few minutes ago, saying picture of longtime principal that was killed at Amy Beverland. We're going to show you one more here. Another picture, her along with a group, and a close-up there. And now let's go ahead and see Skycam video. Skycam 6, a live look at the scene. Very, very active right now. In addition to a lot of police presence, investigators, the coroner is there, the mayor is there talking with the superintendent, everyone trying to piece together what happened causing this terrible bus crash. We also want to check in now with RTV6's Rafael Sanchez, who has been on the scene now for a little over an hour, talking to parents, witnesses, really everyone, getting a feel for how much this is impacting the community there. Hey, Rafael. All right. Rafael Sanchez right there. It looks like we have a little mic muted there. But again, look behind him. I want you to look right behind him. Oh, we're back up at Skycam 6. Check out, okay, so originally there was one bus involved in this accident, but you see a second bus behind it, right behind that fire truck. That was brought in by investigators there trying to recreate the situation because obviously this is a crime scene. They're looking into what happened. So originally, a little before 3 o'clock when this did happen, it was just one bus, the bus that you see closest to us right now by that debris and that tree involved in that crash. And you can also see people walking around it, you know, as well as police cars up there in the top right corner. Something that they wanted parents to know. Initially, they weren't allowed on the scene, again, as this was unraveling, but they are allowed now to kind of bring the get connected with their children, bring them home safely. We want to check in, though, with RTV6's Paris Lubell, who's in Skycam 6 right now, looking at this scene live with the latest information that he's been able to get. Hey, Paris.
Hey, Candace, we're finding out some more information, and specifically about that second bus. Now, what we're being told is that bus was brought in just to block the scene along with a fire truck. That's so our cameras on the ground or anybody else from that matter can't actually see into the scene. We're being able to get a little bit of a bird's eye view up here in Skycam, but again, that second bus wasn't brought in to recreate. That's the latest information we're finding. It was just there trying to block the scene, give some investigators some space, but you can see that crime scene tape in there, and that's where investigators are focusing on at the moment. And again, this is a crime scene. They're treating it as a crime scene, not necessarily because a crime has occurred, but because they can take the measurements and the photos that would be involved in this. And right now we're also being told, as we reported just a little while ago, the adult fatal victim is here on the scene and we're believed to be under the front of that bus. Earlier from the opposite side we saw a sheet that was over one of the areas in the front of the bus, and we've been able to confirm now that that's the fatal victim on the scene. So investigators starting the preliminary parts of their investigation, something that will take many more hours to figure out exactly what happened. But again, right now, as you can see, that their school bus and the fire truck not involved in the accident, but there to just block the scene and give the investigators some space to be able to see what's going on. Candace?
Paris, thanks for that information. Again, that second bus there brought in simply to block the scene. All right, now we want to bring in RTV6's Chance Walser, who has been working the scene again for a little over an hour, talking with people around the area as well as police on scene, getting the latest information right now in the 4 o'clock hour. Hey, Chance.
Some new information for you here at the scene. We've been hearing rumors about a press conference. Police just came over and told me they will have a press conference to update everybody in about 15 minutes, right at the top of the hour. That press conference will include members of the school district. It will include Mayor Hogsett. It will include Police Chief Troy Riggs as well, updating us on what happened and the investigation. A lot of the parents that were here have since gone home, but this news of this incident spread very quickly, so a lot of parents showed up here to the Marsh parking lot just across the street from the elementary school, not knowing what had happened, just hearing that something horrible had happened. So you can imagine their fright when they pull up to the Marsh parking lot and see more than a dozen police cars, ambulances, etc. Let's listen now to one man who was very concerned about his child's well-being when he got here.
It's just a relief. I'm still a little bit, in shock. When I got the call from my neighbor, the way she put it, it sounded like he got run over. So I'm just real happy. It's okay.
You're not letting go of him?
No. No, I'm not.
A pretty tight grip on that young man. You can understand those emotions from those parents. Again, we're going to get ready here at the scene for a press conference scheduled to take place at the top of the hour to bring you the latest information on this bus incident. Back to you for now.
All right, Chance, thanks so much. Now, a live look out again at the scene from our Skycam 6. You can see one bus to the left of that fire truck. That was the one involved in the accident earlier today. The one to the right is simply brought in to block people from seeing the scene right there. We're going to bring in RTV6's Rafael Sanchez to see what latest information that he's been able to gather within the past few minutes. Hey, Rafael.
We're back live here on the city's northeast side, outside of Amy Beverland Elementary School. I'm speaking to Angela Parker, and again, our condolences on your loss here in the school community. And we were just talking about, you have a first grader that you are so happy is okay.
Yes, I'm very happy that he's okay. Luckily, he doesn't ride the bus, so I pretty much thought he was okay when I got the phone call, but then when I looked online and saw all this going on, like I had to leave work to come and get him.
Yeah, and we just talked about, as parents now, you're going to have to explain to a young boy adult issues as to what happened here. And how difficult will that be for you? Because I'm going to guess that you and I are at the same age where we kind of figure how that those things happen, but little kids really have a hard time with that.
It's going to be hard, so me and his father are going to explain it to him when we get home. So
a long discussion, and this is a school, this is a place that people really they love each other. This is a great school.
It's a great school community, and everybody pretty much bands together, and the work that they do with the children and how they keep all the families active in the school community is so great. So I just saw them doing a prayer circle in the school, all the teachers, so I thought that was awesome too.
Can you give me an idea? So there was a prayer circle inside. Can you give me an idea then what that looked like, or what that sounded like, or what that felt like?
I didn't get to hear anything. It was just a lot of teachers, you know, crying and holding hands, and you could just tell that they were praying and, you know, deep sympathy. So my heart goes out to the family of Miss Jordan.
Yeah. So we want to thank you, and we want to thank you for talking to us. We're glad that you're okay, and that you're loved by your mom and your school community and your mom and your dad. Thank you so much for talking to us. As you heard from Chance Walter just moments ago, we are expecting a press conference here outside of the school building. A number of officials will speak to us, including the newly elected mayor of Lawrence, Steve Collier, as well as the newly elected mayor of Indianapolis. Of course, that's Joe Hogsett. Both are here. And if you're wondering what's happening and why both mayors, it just happens that this school, Amy Beverland Elementary School, is in Lawrence Township, but it's located on the Indianapolis side. We just found out Fox Road, where you see all of that traffic. Well, on this side, I'm standing on the city of Lawrence side. On the other side of those police officers is the city of Indianapolis. So that is why we're going to hear from two mayors during this press conference in a few moments about the tragedy that happened here at Amy Beverland Elementary School. A very sad day as we continue our live team coverage here on the city's northeast side. Candace, we're going to set up for that press conference and bring you the very latest information as it unfolds here on RTV6 as well as the RTV6 app. On the city's northeast side, Rafael Sanchez, now back to you.
Rafael, thank you. We continue to cover this breaking news story of a bus crash at Amy Beverland Elementary School, and we'll bring you the latest updates right after the break. We're following breaking news on the Now Indy. You're looking live from Skycam 6 at Amy Beverland Elementary School, where a little before 3 o'clock there was a bus accident. One person was killed, and our sources say that it was the principal. Also, 2 kids were injured. We know that they were 2 10-year-old kids, and they are in stable condition. Now, this is all happening on the city's northeast side, and we're expecting a press conference that's coming up from the city's mayor, police, really everyone investigating the cause of this crash. But we want to head up to Skycam 6 and check in with Paris Lubell with the latest information that he's been able to gather. Hey, Paris.
Right now, as you're seeing it on your TVs, and it may look a little confusing if you're just joining us, but the bus right there with the headlights on is the bus that actually jumped the curb and went into the grass area. And the reason the lights are still on is because investigators after an accident will leave everything the exact way as it happened during the crash, and that's to see if something mechanically went wrong or to figure out exactly what occurred to have that crash occur. Now, the other bus and the fire truck there, that's blocking the scene so people can't see it from the opposite side, from the street side where our other crews are. But right now, investigators there towards the front of the bus, we had more there earlier, starting to take some preliminary pictures and see and treating this again as a crime scene. But again, that's the bus there. As you can see, the lights are still on.
We want to take you right now to a live news conference at Amy Beverland Elementary School.
Everybody ready? All right. So about 2:41 this afternoon, Indianapolis firefighters were dispatched to the Amy Beverland School on Fox Hill Road for reported PI with entrapment. When they arrived, they found that a school bus that was sitting static in the parking lot with children loading the bus had jumped the curb, made contact with 2 of the students and an adult. The 2 students were transported to Riley Hospital in serious but stable condition, non-life-threatening injuries. They are both 10 years old, and the victim, who is an adult, was pronounced DOA on scene, and at this time the school is working with notifying family members with the victim's identity. Indianapolis firefighters checked out the rest of the kids on the bus. There were a total of 25 children on the bus. None of the other children sustained any injuries that required medical treatment. They were all checked out at release and released. The driver of the bus, who was on the bus at the time, was also checked out, and at this time is working with IMPD to move forward on the investigation. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Sean Smith, Superintendent.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very sad that I have to report that the fatality was a great educator. Ms. Susan Jordan, the principal of Amy Beverland, was fatally struck by a school bus this afternoon. As superintendent of schools and a representative of the entire school community, we lost a great educator today. We're going to work very closely with the authorities. We want to make it very clear it was an accident, and we just ask that everyone in this community and beyond, please pray for our students and our great leader. Thank you.
Yes, on behalf of the City of Indianapolis, on behalf of Chief Troy Riggs, on behalf of the City of Lawrence and Mayor Steve Collier, we cannot express deeply enough the sympathy and condolence that all of the City of Indianapolis feels, not only for the family of Susan Jordan, but for those children who were affected by today's accident. We dispatched first responders, IMPD, IFD, in cooperation with our Lawrence partners. We're on scene. We will continue to be on scene throughout the rest of this evening with critical response personnel as well as chaplains to serve the needs of the people of this community. It is on tragic afternoons and evenings like this evening when we are led to cry and to mourn, but it is on this afternoons like this afternoon that we are also reminded of the goodness of the people that respond to tragedies like this, and that we are in fact one city.
Yes.
We will endure. There will be tomorrow, as sad as this evening has been, and we express our condolences to the entire Amy Beverland community and to Lawrence Township Schools.
I just want to echo Mayor Hogsett's feelings about this. As many of you already know, I'm very close to the situation. It's very hard to talk right now. So we mourn Lawrence Township, and certainly that tomorrow is what will come. Thank you.
Mr. Superintendent, can you tell us what services will be provided to the students and to the staff tomorrow and the days ahead, sir?
Thank you. We have unbelievable support from our own staff, but community, Gallahue, all individuals involved in the support network are here on campus and be with us for several days.
And sir, can you speak to, you spoke briefly about Ms. Jordan. Can you further explain? My understanding is that she was a great educator, loved by all her students and her staff. There was a prayer circle inside that building, again, showing the love for this educator. Can you further give us more about her so far as being that great educator?
This great school behind you has only had 2 principals in its history, and Susan Jordan is one of them. 22 years of leading this school. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a legend in education. As superintendent, I enjoy every single day and moment that I get to be with this lady, and I think I would speak to her staff and how much they love her. It's been very, very difficult for us this last 2 hours because of the closeness and oneness that this community has and the love that they have for this lady. And again, we just ask for everyone's prayers. This is a great example of a leader, an educational leader, in our state and our city.
Sir, what would you tell parents who today are explaining to young kids death? And that's a very hard concept for a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old. Can you give parents just an idea of what kind of discussions they should have with their young kids so that when they return tomorrow, they will feel as best as possible?
That's very difficult, but I certainly would echo Susan. Knowing her as my leader, she would want us all to do the right thing for the children and that everything would be okay. That's just the type of person she was. She was here every day, never missed a day of work, just a phenomenal individual that truly cared about children. This is just a tragic situation that we have, and we just ask everyone to continue to pray for us.
And sir, tomorrow morning, when children arrive at school, how many resources, how many people, how much effort is going to be put into caring for those children?
We're going to evaluate tomorrow. This loss is going to ripple across our district of 15,000 students. We haven't made a decision on what we're going to do tomorrow, but I will say that when we have the kids back here, we'll have a lot of support wrapped around them, and we just ask that everyone join us in this.
Chief, are there any indications yet as to possibly what went wrong, what could have caused this particular accident? Any indications at all?
I'm going to throw that question to Commander Bailey. They're in charge of the investigation.
Commander Bailey, any initial indications of what possibly could have gone wrong, could have caused this?
Investigators are just now starting to look at all that. They've spoken to several witnesses and people, and they're still trying to gather those facts right now. So as soon as we know more, we'll be able to tell you more.
And is the driver having a standard blood test taken in this matter?
Yes, sir.
What is the school bus number?
I don't know that off the top of my head, sorry.
Do you know what the principal was doing when she was with those children? Was she walking with them?
It's still part of the investigation, but it was dismissal time, so like many students, or like many teachers, she was outside with the schools, or outside with the buses, making sure that the students got on the bus safely.
Is there any indication that she tried to get in front of those kids?
I don't know that.
Commander Bailey, can you tell us what is happening around the school bus right now?
The coroner is here, and so and then fact team investigators are there as well. So we're just trying to be as respectful as we can right now for her.
Sir, do you know if there is any security camera video or any other witnesses? Do you expect to be able to shed some light on this?
We've already spoken to several witnesses. I'm not sure on surveillance cameras or anything like that at this point.
Did the bus hit any other buses, or did it just kind of?
No, didn't hit any other buses.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you.
And so that concludes this news conference, which we just heard from the officials here in Lawrence Township. We've heard from the mayors of Indianapolis and Lawrence as we continue to cover this story. Live team coverage here on the city's northeast side outside of Amy Beverland Elementary School. They are expecting a school to go as, I hate to use the word normal, because tomorrow will not be a normal day for the 800 young people and the dozens of staff that make up this school family, but they will have a number of support services on hand, as you heard from the superintendent, to help this school community deal with this tragic loss. As you heard from the superintendent, this educator was a legend in the school district. This school, which opened back, I believe, in 1989, has only had 2 principals, and the principal who was killed in this accident is one of the 2. And so, as you heard from the superintendent, it'll be a day of mourning right now, a night of mourning, an evening of mourning, and tomorrow they will continue to deal with this loss, which will have a ripple effect through this school district of 15,000 people. We also heard from the mayor of Indianapolis and the mayors of Lawrence, who also talked about this being one city and how they hope the communities will come together to deal with this tragic loss. We'll continue to ask more questions, and we'll walk around and talk to some of the officials that remain here and have the very latest for you coming up in just a few moments. Live on the city's northeast side, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
Thank you, Rafael. Miss Susan Jordan, principal there for 22 years, as you heard, and we continue to